one of the most impressive places in Egypt, and I would say in the entire world is behind me is the Karnak Temple. It was built about 2,000, 3,000 years before Christ. It's a busy area. It was not like that for the past 2 years. Now it's very busy with buses and cars and horses, as you can see. But I will never, especially horses, I will never come with a horse because I don't support animal exploitation and abuse. I came with my bicycle. But let's go inside and let's see the beauty of this temple and the history enshrined in this temple. Okay, I passed the entrance. I had to pay 220 pounds, Egyptian pounds, which are equivalent to about $8-9, less than $10. And for Egyptian is a little less, for Arab people is a little less. And they asked me if I was an Arab man, because I do look like an Arab man. And I say, no, I'm not. Because also, if I say yes, they will require a passport, which I don't have an Arab passport. Anyway, I'm here. This is the Karnak Temple. Is considered the largest religious building in the world in the history of humanity. It was actually not just one temple. It was several temples connected to each other, within each other. And but the one that is visible, that tourists can visit, is the temple dedicated to the god Amun-Re. Amun-Re actually was in the beginning were two gods. Was Amun was the god of it was the creator of the universe, and Ra was the god of the sun and the air. Eventually the pharaohs decided that Amun and Ra had to blend into within one god, and often they believed that they were the incarnation of Amun-Re. Because Amun-Re is exactly the creator of the universe and the god of the sun, is often represented with a sun on top of his head, but also has other kind of representation. One of the representation is with the animal ram like a goat. And now I'm going to walk through the entrance here, and it's a lot of sphinx. That contrary to the Sphinx in Cairo, the Sphinx in Cairo is half human, half lion. Here it's a half human, half ram, half goat. So let's go and have a look. There's a small obelisk at the entrance with all the rams and the bodies of a lion. And in the middle of the ram is Amun-Re. Behind they built a small mosque. It's very cute. So this is the entrance. When I came a few times here, first time many years ago, like almost 30 years ago, and then I came again a couple of years ago when during pandemic time, and this place was empty. Now it's toward the end of the day, it's less people, but during the day it's super crowded, like the traffic in Cairo. These statues of the rams are just beautiful, amazing. And it gives the rams is a symbol of strength and force, and that's what the pharaohs wanted to transmit, and the god Amun-Re was the symbol of force, and because the creator of the universe. So now I'm inside the most impressive courtyard. There's the entrance, another entrance to the temple. And you see all the columns and more rams in the background, and more rams over there behind me, and then huge statues over there. This temple was built in the beginning of the 3,000, 2,000 years before Christ. It was built at different phases. Every pharaoh wanted to leave inheritance, leave a memory of their reign, And so they added to the temple, and they enlarged the temple by building more shrines and more temple within the temple. So the construction of the temple lasted until few years before Christ. Even the Romans, there are some places where Romans came and built within the temples. So here you can see behind me, let me show you something. So you see the presentation of pharaohs and gods within the rooms. So let's go deep inside the temple. It's just impressive. There are different theories how such a monumental building was constructed back then without the technology that we have today. And there are different theories. One theory says that it was all the stones to build the walls, to build the columns were erected mechanically with a lever. Another theory is that sand and soil was, that's amazing, so beautiful. Another theory says that sand was laid against the walls that needed to be built, on the columns that needed to be built, and then like to climb, then the stones were dragged with the slave labor. They were dragged up to the top, but still scientists are still not sure how exactly they did all of this. Here you can see the god Amun-Re with a circle on top of his head that represent the sun. And these are other representation of gods. The temple was this temple was dedicated to Amun-Re, but within the temple there were hosted representations of other gods. So it was not exclusive to one god. The walk inside is just amazing because you feel like you go back in history. So this is another side of the temple. So amazing. So the pharaoh, the king, is sitting on his throne. So beautiful. It's just so impressive. Look at that. Look at that. It's just so beautiful. It's undescribable. Thinking that 3,000 years ago, people were worshiping gods here, and they were living, they were having a life, and for thousands of years, these temples stood at this place, and is still standing at this place. Look how amazing, guys! How amazing all of this is. So this is another side of the temple. So amazing. So the pharaoh, the king, is sitting on his throne. So beautiful. It's just so impressive. Look at that. Look at that. These are a few of the obelisks that are left in Egypt, because many obelisks have been stolen by Europeans, British, French, Italian, the church in Italy, the Vatican. So many obelisks, and they brought them to Europe. but here they're still standing. These obelisks are made of one piece and they weigh tons. And we still don't know exactly how they were able to erect them. As I said earlier, there are two theories. Either mechanically with a lever and also mechanically, but using sand and soil next to the spot where they wanted to elevate such humongous, heavy elements. We now enter the most amazing, impressive, unbelievable hall made of 154 massive columns. They are almost 60 meters high and 100 meters large, and we still don't know how they erected them. They were all colored in bright colors, but because of the Nile, the water, the weather, eventually the original colors faded. But on top of it, you can still see the beauty. Representations of daily life is on the columns. The rituals, the ceremonies, the festivals, the head. Just amazing. This is my favorite part of the temple. So beautiful. I feel so small. These Egyptians were the geniuses. Oh my God, I really feel history. I feel when I'm here in one of the buildings in the pyramids at the temples of ancient Egyptians, I feel like I'm not that old after all. These buildings have been here for thousands of years. If you have not been in Luxor yet, you must come. It's an amazing experience. Various gods, the temples was dedicated to Amun-Re, but other gods were represented here. Over there, you see this one. This is Min. It's the god of fertility. And you can tell why he was the god of fertility and how he was represented certain way. Look at the colors, guys. Yeah, the restorer in trying to, some columns fell a few years ago. So they always have to try to keep it because it's still old. Wow. Wow. One of the greatest civilizations that ever existed. I hope you're enjoying the tour, and I hope you are coming to Luxor, Egypt. It's only 1 hour flight from Cairo. And some countries, some airlines have direct flights to Luxor. Look at this. Look at this. What is this? Oh my God. Cannot get enough. So amazing. So amazing. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. Beautiful Egypt. Come to Egypt. Look at this. Come and visit Luxor, the most beautiful city in Egypt and in the world.